Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm starting with my Carli Bybel palette in this nude shade, the first one at the top, and I'm going to be applying that all over the lids just to set the concealer that I applied as our eyeshadow base today. Then I applied small pieces of tapes to my eyes just to give this a very clean cut eyeshadow look. And then I'm going into my MAC Warm Neutral palette with my Anastasia blending brush in this kind of camel caramel color, and I'm starting to buff that into my crease, keeping it very low, not bringing it up too high to the brow bone. After this step, I'm going to be applying the darkest brown type of muted shade from the Carli Bybel palette with my Charlotte Tilbury smudger brush on my lash line outwards in a wing-like motion on top of the tape to give a nice precise line. And after doing this, I'm going to dip back into the MAC Warm Neutral palette in this brown shimmery shade and applying that in all the same areas, making sure to really concentrate it more towards the outer V. After adding this depth in the outer V, I'm going to be taking a clean blending brush. It's going to be my Rocky Cosetti blending brush, and I'm just going to blend until everything is nice and seamless. Then I'm basically going to be repeating the last two steps that I did with this darker shade in the Warm Neutral palette just to add a little bit more depth and make this look a little bit more sultry. I was seeing a lot of girly pink shimmer and glitter Valentine's Day looks, so it kind of inspired me to do something a little different. So I wanted to do something darker, a whole different color scheme, and something really sultry. Here I am again blending out everything with another clean blending brush. This is my Anastasia blending brush, making sure everything is buffed away and melted together really nice. Then it's back into the palette with this small shader brush on this gold champagne color with my Mario Rose Water to intensify the pigment, and I'm applying this right onto the lid, kind of in like a small sort of cut crease look. And I'm just making sure to bring this all the way into the outer V. After applying this golden color to my lid, I'm going to be jumping back into this darker and chocolate color with my CT smudger brush and just accentuating the outer V, kind of darkening it up again after we applied the gold. Then I'm taking my MAC blending brush. This was clean before I started using it, and once again using this clean brush to buff everything away and blend it all together nicely. After buffing everything in together to my liking, I'm taking this small precision pencil brush from Charlotte Tilbury in the darkest shade and just running it right along the outer V portion of my lash line to kind of create a shadowed winged liner effect. I'm finished with that. I'm going to be removing the tape from my under eyes and using my MAC makeup wipes to remove any fallout and clean up that nice line we created with the shadow. Then I'm taking my all-time favorite highlighter in life from Pat McGrath in fine gold on this pencil brush and just highlighting under my brow. After I finish this, I'm going to be prepping for lashes by curling my real lashes. And today I decided to do something different and use Kiss lashes. These are in Peony, which are my favorite from Kiss. Then I'm taking my Maybelline Falsies Volume Express mascara on top of my natural and false lashes to blend them together. Then I'm using my CT Rock and Kohl liner in Bedroom Black to conceal any separation in my waterline between the false lashes and my real lashes. Next it's on to face, and today I'm priming with my absolute favorite of the moment, my Guerlain primer. It works so good for oily to combo skin types. I highly recommend. Works great with all different types of foundations. And today I'm actually going to be using two different foundations. the Milani Conceal and Perfect and my Dior Airflash. I'm using them both because the Milani was kind of hard for me to pick without a tester in store. So color-wise, it's a little bit off, a little bit too cool for my preference. So the Dior Airflash is more of a yellow warm tone, so it'll kind of bring more life and warmth back into my face. And I'm just applying this with a MAC Duo Fiber brush, and then I blend it all out with my Beauty Blender. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've been trying this Milani foundation out for a few days, and I don't know if I'm just too oily for this foundation type, but it's just not holding up for me the way that I want it to by itself. So mixing it with another foundation has helped the longevity for me, because I do wear makeup from like 10 to 12 to 14 hours a day sometimes. So I do find that this one separates around the forehead and nose area for me in the first few hours, which is a big no-go. But when I do mix it in with another foundation, it does hold up a lot better. So that's kind of what I'm doing today as well, by adding the Dior Airflash. Plus, it just gives a really nice luminosity to the skin without making you look oily. It's just a really nice glow that the Airflash gives. When I'm finished applying foundation, I'm going to move on to concealer. And to conceal and highlight today, I am using my new favorite, my MAC Pro Longwear Pot Concealer. These are serious bomb.com. I saw a MAC girlfriend post on Snapchat that this is the best concealer for no flashback. So of course I'm all about that life. So I'm applying it with a nice concealer brush to my under eye areas to highlight where I usually do. You know, I hit the nose, the chin, cupid's bow, forehead. You know the drill. But basically, I really love this concealer because I also use it to clean up above my brows and under my brows. I have this concealer in a few shades. Then I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher concealer, and I'm applying this right over where I applied the MAC concealer, just to add a little bit more warmth since it is a pretty light concealer. Spritz my face with a little Mario Rose water to emulsify everything together, and I start to dab it all out. Because I'm very on the oily side, I like to stay away from certain beauty oils, especially mixing them into makeup products. So when I use a cream highlighter, I like to spray myself with my Mario Rose water. You could really use any type of setting spray, but it helps to loosen up the cream product and make it a little bit more creamy to blend or dab out, versus it being too thick and hard to move and it doesn't budge. After dabbing it out, I'm going to use my Holy Grail, my Laura Mercier Translucent powder, dip my Beauty Blender into that, and just set my under eye area. Like you guys know, I don't like to bake my under eye area. I just like to set it with powder lightly. I find that when I bake it, it ends up looking really scaly, showing all types of fine lines and imperfections under the eye area. So that's why I don't do that. And I'm just taking my fluffy face brush, dipping that into the translucent powder as well, and buffing that all out into the face to set my foundation and give me a really nice and mattified look. Then I'm just touching up my brows really quickly because sometimes the foundation will get on it. Taking my Naked bronzer in this Duo palette, and I'm starting to sculpt out my contour. I really love this small bronzer in this palette for my contour. I love any type of nice warm reddish undertone because my hair does have red undertones to it. So when I use a cool toned bronzer, it just makes me look super ashy and kind of dead looking. But basically, I'm just contouring and bronzing all the usual areas that I normally do. After I finish bronzing and contouring the face, I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild contouring palette in the highlighting shade with my flat Dior foundation brush, and just carving out a nice line underneath the contour to give more definition. Don't worry, I'm going to be buffing all of this out later. It's kind of my alternative to baking with a translucent powder heavily under the contour. I feel like it does the same thing, especially when you just buff it all out in the end. After doing that, I'm going to be taking my Real Techniques under eye setting brush in the same banana powder and applying that on the under eye area, on my nose, my chin, cupid's bow, forehead, kind of buffing out the contour lines I did on my nose as well with this powder to soften it up and make it look a little bit more natural. Then I'm taking my Becca Jaclyn Hill palette in Prosecco Pop and spritzing that with a little bit of Mario Rose water and applying it to the highest points of my face, cheekbones first. You know me, I love any type of nice, fine, golden highlighter that's so up my alley. And after applying that, I'm going to be taking Pat McGrath in Fine Gold again and my pencil brush and applying that in the inner corner of my eyes and also on top of the Prosecco Pop that I just applied to intensify today's golden highlight. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different and unusual. I'm going into my Anastasia Glow Kit and taking this darker bronzing shade on my e.l.f. blush brush, which is my absolute favorite. And I'm using this on the apples of my cheeks and blending out to my bronzer as my blush today. I like it. It just gives a nice bronzy golden effect to the face and ties in really well with the highlighter. Then I take the fluffy brush again, blend out all of that banana powder from the Wet n Wild contour kit that I put on, making everything look nice and seamless. Then I'm going to be baking my nose area here since I do get quite oily, and then just redefining slightly the outer parts of the contour and bronze. Sorry guys, I had to jam out a little bit while I waited for that to bake. Then taking the fluffy brush again, buffing out one more time, taking my dual fiber as well, just to blend everything out really nicely, setting with my Mario water, and it's time to finish up the eyes. So taking that small precision pencil brush in that caramel camel shade we used first on the eyes, I run that and these darker colors along my lower lash line, bringing it out in the same wing effect with my smudger brush to intensify and sultrify this look. Sultrify is not a word, but I'm using it anyways. Filling in my lower waterline with Bedroom Black and applying my favorite mascaras off camera today. Then I'm using Mary Jo K liner from Kylie Cosmetics to fill in my lips. I wanted to do something festive. If I wasn't going to be on the eyes, I wanted to do it on the lips. So I chose a nice red lip. Of course, it's Gorg from the Cocoa collection from Kylie Cosmetics. So after applying my matte liquid lipstick, it's on to hair. I tried to film my hair portion for you guys today, but my batteries died. But basically I chose to do old Hollywood inspired curls to match the sultry vibe that I was going for this Valentine's Day look. And it's pretty much complete. I hope you guys enjoyed and you have an amazing Valentine's Day. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon.